Confused about SwiftUI Async await versus closures? In this video, we'll break down the key differences, performance, and readability to help you choose the best approach for your asynchronous code in Swift. As you can see on the screen, on line 15, we create an asynchronous task to execute the code on the main thread. This is done within SwiftUI. And then we attempt to fetch the items asynchronously using the get items using async and await function. And then if the items are retrieved, the items are then displayed on the screen using a print statement. If there was an error, we capture the error using a catch block. And this is the get items using async await function. This is the actual function that does the request. As you see, we just assign the URL. And then after assigning the URL, we perform the asynchronous network request using a URL session. And then the await keyword then waits for the process to be completed. And then when the await process has been completed, we then attempt to decode the fetched data into an array of string. This will also throw an error if the data format doesn't match the expected data type. So if the process was successful, the return array would be executed on line 50. And now we'll demonstrate the same procedure using closures. So as you can see on line 27, we call the closure get items using closure. That will handle the results. And then on line 31, if the request is successful, we then print the output to the screen, which is the array. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the array is an array of countries. I'll run it afterwards. And if there was an error, like a decoding error or some type of failure, that will be displayed on line 36. So now I'll go to the get items using closure, which is this function here on line 53. As you can see, it's a little bit similar to what we've done earlier, but with this function, it uses a closure. To fetch the data asynchronously and then return the results. But how it returns the results? It returns the results using a completion handler, which is on line 64. And if the results could not be returned, it then returns an error using another completion handler. On line 42, within the get items using async and await function, as you can see, it just returns an array. It makes the function call and the return values much cleaner compared to line 53, where we return a closure. And also within our asynchronous calls, there's also less lines. So within the async and await function, there's just 3 lines really, excluding the return line. But within the closure function, there's more than 3 lines, as you can see. Want to build your own Connect4 app? Now you can. Download the free source code and start building today. The link is in the description below. Async Await creates cleaner code and closures by improving readability, error handling, and maintainability. It allows for asynchronous code to look synchronous, simplifies error handling with do catch, and reduces boilerplate code, making the code easier to read and to maintain and test. Set up a Patreon to help upgrade my equipment. I'm aiming for a new MacBook Pro, which costs £4,000, to improve video editing and audio quality for better tutorials. If you'd like to support, the link is in the description. Thank you so much. I will now run the code snippets. Just compiling at the moment. Still compiling. Here's the output. It's just a list of countries. This section is the asynchronous await output. It's the same output anyway. And this section is the closure output. Or I can comment out each function call and just call them one by one. So this time I'm just calling the asynchronous await. You can see the output here in the console. And then this time I'll just call the closure example. And that's it. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like and subscribe. See you next week.